working. The clock's not working. All right, if we're ready, I'm going to go ahead and hit the music. We are live. We are live. But did I screw that up? Oh, there we go. Very good. Here we go.
All righty.
We are live, guys.
We're live.
This is our first ever podcast.
Now?
This is our pod.
We're starting now?
We're starting right now.
Now? Okay. Now.
Too late to quit.
You're in it.
Are we canceled yet?
Yeah, I'm not used to the camera, but here is the camera. So
They didn't give me a camera.
we are here.
My goal is to be canceled by the end of the show.
So here we are, our first pod. I am Kimberly, and we are here joined with Revere Realty. It's Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty. We are glad you are here for our first ever podcast, episode 1, season 1. I'm excited about this. Are you guys excited?
The revolution begins now.
Today, right now. We're doing it. I'm sitting here with two guys who have the biggest balls in Rochester. I mean, I hope it's a little maybe information that's too much, maybe TMI, too much information. But I think you guys are awesome for hiring me, and I appreciate it every single day.
I just blushed.
I'm just hot.
Are you hot? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, so here we are. We are in the middle of podcast season 1, episode 1. As I said, I'm Kimberly, former radio host addict, now a licensed real estate salesperson. And I'm here with the guys from Revere Realty. We are actively, of course, recruiting new real estate agents. You guys have a great little firm in Irondequoit. I want to thank Patty Bardine, whom I love, that reached out to us, reached out to me, reached out to you, and said, "Hey, Kimberly is kind of on the ropes. She was hired by an agency. She was fired within an hour. That's got to be a record, right?"
I would say so. You must have done something really, really bad to get fired within an hour.
I was just me, which apparently that is, what are you going to do?
You didn't sell any houses in that first hour. That's what happened.
I already had a house to sell.
Unbelievable.
I already had a house to sell. So Chad Hummel, who is a broker/attorney.
That's correct.
And you are the co-owner of the brokerage firm, and then Tom Morgan, who is a broker/appraiser, and also co-owner of Revere Realty. So thanks guys. I really appreciate you being here, and it's Tom's birthday.
It is
on season 1, episode 1.
That's
more
amazing.
importantly, let's talk about how old he is. How old are you, Tom?
I just passed the national speed limit. That's not good.
Nice.
You're not a day over 55. You look young. It's all up here, man.
Right.
It is all up here.
We'll go with that.
So we're on Facebook Live, and we're going to be on YouTube. It'll be posted to YouTube, and then all of the platforms that go along with pod. And I mean, I'm kind of new to all this. I got to be honest with you. It's weird talking into a microphone and having a camera right in front of me. But these are things that we get used to in the whole, scheme of things. So we're going to run with this little thing, and hopefully, this will be successful. And I think with the Facebook Live, I don't know, am I able to see comments? I'm hoping I'm able to see comments, but I appreciate you guys being here. So should we begin at the beginning?
Yeah.
How everything kind of happened?
The beginning of the world?
Like Adam and Eve beginning?
Right.
I mean, what beginning are we talking?
Yeah, right? The very beginning. Well, first let me say, I know a lot of people are wanting to know, how's Lois? How's Chloe? How's my husband Rich? They're all fine and ready to kill me. And I am grateful for my family. My mom is doing great, and she's just glad the Chiefs are winning. So, little tomahawk, baby. Let's go Chiefs. Glad that the Bills are doing so well. So,
Kimberly,
we're all good.
Kimberly, haven't you learned you're not allowed to do the tomahawk chop yet?
I know. There's a lot of things.
There's a reason why we're doing this podcast right now,
What'd your
Kimberly.
kid get in trouble for today?
My kid got in trouble because apparently he didn't have his mask fully up over his nose.
Oh, my God.
And
30 lashes already.
Yeah, tell me about it. And as I was telling you guys before the show began, my son is in the beginning of his senior year of high school, and He doesn't get the best grades in the world, and he isn't exactly an angel, but he managed to make it this far into his educational career without me or my wife getting a phone call.
Right.
So it's pretty shocking and actually kind of sad and disturbing that the first phone call we get for the poor kid is because unfortunately, he didn't have his mask fully pulled up over his nose while he was walking through the hallway with nobody else around other than the security guard that was looking for him.
I know.
Police state. It's a police state.
Isn't that sad? That's where we are.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
So, my family hasn't disowned me. I am, still married. I haven't had to sell my house. I have a car to drive. These are all things that people were saying, oh, she's going to have to sell her house. No, I'm selling houses, actually.
Well, you're doing better than we are because over the past 2 weeks, I had to sell both of my cars. I'm living in the basement at the office right now.
It's a private school education. That's what you get.
There you go.
But no, my husband is doing well. My mom is, just as lowest as ever. And for you guys that listen to the show, you know exactly what that means. She's just as lowest as ever. She's 86, and she's something else. But yeah, so Beck is doing fantastic. People ask me all the time, how is Beck? Are you guys still friends? Do you guys still talk? We talk twice a day sometimes. His girlfriend's daughter had a baby, and the baby is gorgeous. And we FaceTime at least twice a day. Today, we FaceTime and I talk to him. So he's got stuff going on in his life. He's very happy. We're all doing well. And I said initially I never wanted to do a podcast. I just wanted to take the real estate course, pass the test, which is hard, by the way. It's really hard.
I didn't have to take it.
Because you're a lawyer.
Wait.
A liar. I mean a lawyer, yes.
It's hard.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I know it's hard. It's so hard. But, I took the test and I passed the test. And let me just say, I'm really glad we have a lawyer in the room. One,
we're going to need one.
It's Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty, which I don't think I can be fired from my own show. I mean, who are you guys going to call?
That's right.
Who are you going to bitch to? You've got no one. And we've got a lawyer right in the room. So it's always good, Tom, that you plan to have a lawyer on retainer, and that's Chad, and so we're lucky in that respect.
Yeah, I owe him a lot over the years.
I was going to say.
Legal fees.
I've known the man for 30 years, and he hasn't paid up yet.
So
I haven't paid him a cent.
Listen,
ever.
I think Lovely might need your services. She fired her legal,
I'm here, Lovely. I'm here for you.
So people are wondering, oh, my God, is the podcast going to be anything similar to the radio show? I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you.
We literally don't know. We don't even know what we're doing yet here. We're just sitting here and talking.
We named the episode 3 minutes before we went live.
Exactly.
What is it called again?
The Revolution Begins.
Oh, that's right.
Episode 1, Season 1 of Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty.
That's a mouthful.
Which, 1776 is the part of your phone number, so.
467-1776.
It's right on the screen.
There
It's kind of cool how all this podcasting is set up. But for the first time ever, I'm in charge of like buttons and a board. And just to give you guys some history, in the 20-some years that I worked with Beck on radio, either in mornings or in afternoons, I never ran anything. I pushed a button to turn my microphone on, and sometimes not even that. He did it all. Beck ran the board and everything. Here's what I'm in charge of now.
Oh, yeah, fat boy. Go, fat boy. Go, fat boy. Fat boy.
To which I said to you when you were having lunch before the show started, what in the world were you eating? It looked delish.
That was a cheeseburger from Tom Wall's.
Nice.
And onion rings.
You're a runner.
I'm a runner.
You run every day.
No.
I'm a runner too. But that cheeseburger was ginormous.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to someone who might be an advertiser or sponsor here on the show, and that's groupfitnesslive.com, Group Fitness Live. A guy named John and his wife, beautiful family. So in shape, it kills you. But they may be one of our sponsors, and I want to give a shout out to John Hoagland from Trinity Home Renovations. They're looking for guys to work construction, roofing, siding, windows. So Trinity Home Renovation, that's 222 Roof. We love John Hoagland, and he's a good guy. So we have the fat boy, which I called you. You weren't offended by that, right?
No, not at all.
Oh, yeah, fat boy. Go, fat boy. Go, fat boy.
I'm looking in the screen right now, and the camera really does put on 20 pounds.
Yeah, I know. See, the camera is so weird to me because, again, I'm not used to it. But here's the other little drop. People were wondering, Kimberly, are you going to have all the things that you played on the show? Well, obviously not all of them. But the things that kind of important and make sense, like this. Oh, yeah. Don't think we're not going to talk about Mayor Lovely, Chief Singletary, and the deputy mayor. I don't know who's finger pointing more over at City Hall, but the whole thing is craziness. We're going to get into a little bit of that. And then the other, of course, is a question we ask ourselves every day. Tom, I'm asking you right now.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah, no,
Don't be stupid.
100%.
Don't be stupid.
Not on your birthday. But anyway, so I have those now. So we have the drops. Hi, Shannon. So, people can, obviously say hi to us. I can see it right here on the screen now. And I love that. So what happened? Here we are. Podcast season 1.
Yeah, so this is what happened from my perspective. I was driving around one day, and I recognized that I had a text from Patty Bardine, who's one of our real estate agents at Revere Realty.
Love her.
And it said something about there's an agent at this company that's, looking to possibly come over here.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, in the 4 years, and oh, by the way, yesterday was the 4-year anniversary of the formation of Revere Realty. Today is
Congratulations.
4 years in one day. Yeah. September 23rd, 2016. But many times over the years, we've gotten calls and texts from people who are potentially interested in coming over to Revere Realty.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it doesn't pan out.
Sure.
So I put the text away figuring I'll get back to it later. I think I was driving or I was in the middle of something, and I said, I'll get it back to it later. And then ironically, coincidentally, later on in the day, I heard on the news, I believe, about an individual who's now sitting across from me. And
It was on the news?
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast with this individual now.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
I hear a news feed about Kimberly and how she was fired from this company.
Which one? The real estate company. Yes, of course.
Which real estate company?
That one.
Yeah, that one. Well, maybe the second episode. I got to talk to my lawyer about that. So I find out that this company fired Kimberly, and I don't know Kimberly. I didn't know Kimberly. I'm still getting to know Kimberly literally as I sit here right now. I think this is the third time we've met.
I don't know Kimberly.
Yeah, there you go. That's tough.
You know what I mean? Every day is a challenge. But yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I hear about this, and I immediately think to myself, geez, I got to call Tom. I got to call Tom and see if he knows about this because, I doubt in a million years, we don't have any connection, but let's figure out a way to reach out to her. And keep in mind, meantime, I have this text on my phone that I haven't responded to yet. I get home later this night,
yeah,
and I say, oh, geez, I got to check Patty's text that she sent me to see what's going on here. And I read the text, and Patty's telling me that Kimberly, who was on the Kimberly and Beck show, had been fired from this real estate company, and she wants to come on board. And I was floored because that's what I was thinking when I heard the newscast.
Yeah.
And now it's real. She's already in touch with us. And then that was on maybe Wednesday, and by Saturday morning we were sitting face to face in our office,
going over everything.
Yeah, you, me, and
right?
Tom, and now you're a licensed real estate agent at Revere Realty.
And now I'm here.
Yeah, and
here
we are.
Now
on
you're
the
not
radio.
getting rid of me.
No, definitely not.
Now what are you going to do?
I found out from my wife, who's a friend of your show before, Kimberly, and I was golfing. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what Tom does. He doesn't work. He golfs.
Golfing's my thing.
I'd like your life.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But my wife told me in the morning, and she goes, you should talk to Chad about hiring Kimberly. And I went, okay. And
she's a smart woman, your wife.
She is.
She's a smart woman.
She's definitely the brains of the operation.
That's Lori, right?
Lori, yes.
She is a great country western singer, Lori Morgan.
She is. Right. Yes.
Tom can sing.
Well, so, that's the funny thing is, of course, I was fired from iHeart. Beck and I were fired from the show for talking about what happened at the riots. And one, let me just say that you...
For speaking the truth, right, Kimberly?
For speaking about what happened, for speaking the truth. Here's what I hate. I hate that the term racism has turned into a catch-all for everything. Like, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not racist because I voted for Donald Trump. I am not racist because I voted for Donald Trump. I am not racist that I think it's horrible that people kneel on a football field during the national anthem. That doesn't make me racist. It doesn't make me racist that I am a different believer in everything that you might believe. That doesn't make me racist. That doesn't make me racist that I think it's horrible that two men were beating on a 100-pound woman trying to protect her friend's store. That doesn't make me racist. I've never been racist. doesn't matter what you think. I'm not going to change the haters' minds. You're not going to change the haters' minds. But that's not racism. Is when you have a hatred for another person of a different culture or race or creed or color. I don't have any of that. But just because I don't believe in the things that you believe in doesn't mean I'm racist. If you're, Mormon and I don't believe in the Mormon religion, does not make me racist. See, now, of course, racism, and it's sad because it really takes away from, true racism, is that everything is thrown into the racist basket. You're racist if you have a different belief. And that's the worst thing that could have happened, I think. So we were fired for what people said was a racist comment. We were having a conversation about a racist comment. It wasn't racist. But nonetheless, we were fired. I take my licks, and I'm good with that. Took my real estate course, took the test, was hired by a firm that knew everything from the beginning. I was hired in July before I even passed the course. This agency in Pittsford, we had several conversations.
What's the address?
I don't know. I'm not really allowed in Pittsford much, and maybe it got back to the mayor of Pittsburgh, and he found out that Kimberly was coming over, and we got to do something about this. I'm a West Side girl, you know what I mean? So the guy in Pittsford who hired me, his office manager, his social media guy, they all knew. This was no secret, and they knew my history, and we'd had, as I told you, many sit-downs about it. 2 sit-downs and an in-house meeting, all right? So this was no surprise for that company. The in-office memo went out about me being hired to sell houses, which I already had a listing, and I was so excited. And then an hour later, the Democrat and Chronicle comes out with the story, and I was fired before I could even get started. So that's what happened in a nutshell. I was on the floor. It was crazy. And I had to drag myself up, and I vowed, this is not going to beat me. And then you guys stepped in. 24 hours later. And you're my saviors.
Well, that's because
we're
racist.
Yeah,
I would
of course, everyone is racist.
Well, I would like to say you're welcome, Kimberly, but it's really thank you.
Well, I appreciate that.
See, Tom's the sappy one in the group.
I love you.
This is my yin and yang right here, but no, he always tells it the way it needs to be said.
I just, everyone has a right to work, right? Everyone has a right to work.
Even if you don't want to.
Yeah, and I really don't want. No, I do. I'm a worker. I've been working since I was 15, and I've been doing radio forever, and now I'm going to sell real estate, and it was tough going through that course in a matter of 3 weeks and taking that test. I mean, anyone who says being a real estate agent is easy, they must just be a natural, because I find it takes work, and it's going to take work to be great, and I'm going to be a great real estate salesperson.
What's the difference between lessee and lessor, Kimberly?
We're not going to talk about that right now.
You're a real estate savant right now.
Right. I'm so smart. I'm not.
Don't worry, Kimberly, because after I took the 2-day bar exam to get my law license, I literally forgot everything the moment I walked out of the bar exam. So I still don't know if I know the difference between lessee and lessor.
That's 10th grade French for me.
I know. But, thanks to a good friend of mine, Debbie Campanella, she was the one that said, hey, listen, here's a test.
Where does Debbie work?
She works for a great company. No,
I'm just practicing my litigation skills here.
She doesn't work for a great company. We were going to team up at this particular agency. We'd had the pictures done. Team photos. We had the whole thing going.
Can you hold any of those up?
No, I can't. They're on my phone. I do have them. But Debbie Campanella was so kind to me, and of course, Patty Bardine. And I had lunch yesterday with also a newbie real estate agent, and her name is Caitlin, and she's super helpful. So, I'm finding I'm just kind of getting into it. I sold my first house last week in just a couple of days. Multi-offer situation. Over asking. That's how crazy the market is.
What company would have earned that commission if you had stayed there?
I don't see. You're the type of guy that would get me in trouble on a regular basis.
I'm trying my best.
I
Kimberly, what's going on with Cupcake Chris? That was what my wife wants to know.
So Cupcake Chris is doing great, making cupcakes, being a great friend. I've had some really great friends that have stuck by me this whole time. So I'm grateful for Sabine and my Cupcake Chris and, some other ladies, Lisa and Lucy, that are watching right now on Facebook Live. I walk with Lisa every morning, and she has kind of been, my go-to ear for everything that, hey, do you think this will work? Does this sound stupid? I don't know. And she kind of gets a fill of me every morning as we walk our 3.5 miles. So it's good to have good friends, and it's good to have people that are going to be your good friends for a relationship that's going to go on in the future. So
I think she's talking about us, Tom.
I am talking about you. Yes.
Nobody's ever been so nice to me before.
I don't have a lot of friends, Chad.
Listen.
Don't be stupid.
Right? Don't be stupid.
Don't be stupid.
I can use these buttons now.
Where did you get that? Why don't I have one of those?
Because you are stupid.
Because I'm in charge. I'm in charge of Kimberly's revolution with Revere Realty.
This is unfair.
So if you're a real estate agent and you're unhappy with where you are, come talk to us.
Absolutely.
I know that you guys would love to talk to people, and so, as we're doing that, and if you're thinking about buying or selling, listen, if you're renting,
Don't be stupid.
don't be stupid.
She's got this down.
Don't give your money
Don't be stupid.
to someone else. I know I'm going to drive people crazy because I have to say that on the radio show in the afternoon, everyone thought that it was a producer that was in charge of all the buttons. It was Beck the whole time, and now it's me. What are you guys going to do? I love all of the fourth men. That's our listeners that are watching right now. And again, it's our first pod. The Revolution Begins is the name of the episode.
So you're sexist too, right? The fourth men. There's no women watching, listening.
Women are
Come
just
on.
as manly as the guy. Listen, as some would say, I have bigger balls than some guys. So I'm okay with that. Calling me a fourth man, I know that it's just a term for all of our listeners who kind of love us. So we thank you for that. So you guys are leaders, right? You took a stand. Being a leader is important in the field that you guys are brokers. You own your own company. You have to be a leader, right?
Absolutely.
You've been a leader all your life. I can tell that about you, Chad.
I wouldn't call me a leader per se, but
did you play football? Where?
I did. I played football at St. John Fisher.
Yeah.
Division III. I was a wide receiver.
Nice.
That was in.
He was a special teams player.
I was
special, I believe.
I was special. Yeah. I did catch one touchdown.
Yeah.
From my good friend Mike Cirillo. That was a long time ago. That was in the mid '90s.
Yeah, but I think it takes guys that run their own business. You have to be leaders. You have to take a stand. You have to take a stand when your employees screw up, right? You don't point fingers and blame other people, do you?
No. I don't look at myself as a leader. I look at myself as I'll go out on an island if it's the right place to be.
Yeah.
If that's where the right thing is happening and it's out on that island and I'm going to be the only one out there, I'll go out to that island. And if there's anyone else that wants to follow,
yeah.
If that makes me a leader, great. But so in your situation, what I saw was just that. I saw that out on that island is where the right thing needed to be done.
Yeah.
Nobody else was going to go out on that island with me or with Tom.
Does your island have a cooler, Jay?
And what's in the cooler?
I'm not coming.
What's in the you?
I like my vodka warm. So I don't need a cooler. I don't need a cooler.
Okay.
Well,
but that's a good question, though.
I mentioned leaders, and by the way, Mick Ultra is in your trunk. I don't know why it's not in here. I don't know why I have to drink water.
My golf partner's choice of beer, so
really?
I always have Mick Ultra on.
Is it in a cooler in your trunk?
Hold on. Can I clarify? His golf partner is Mick Ultra.
He is. His golf bag says Mick Ultra on it.
I like your guys' life. I mean, that's nice. You play golf on a Tuesday afternoon.
Me.
That's perfect. And I say this because, this is where I'm going to go. Yeah, I got the music. You guys thought I was gone.
I watched this show live, Kimberly.
Shh.
I don't even know what this music's from.
Well, it's the mayor's music, of course. Mayor Lovely Warren. What's going on in the city of Rochester is spectacularly stupid and embarrassing and awful and ridiculous. It's everything. It's every word, describer word that you can think of, right? Mayor Lovely Warren, who is supposed to be a leader, when the first trouble starts, points the finger at the chief of police, who then says, my reputation is not going to be tarnished, retires. He can retire with his pension because he's put in his years. So he retires, and then her deputy mayor then turns around and points the finger at Mayor Lovely Warren, saying, I tried to tell her to fire the chief in August. And, of course, we're talking about Daniel Prude. And this whole thing is the craziest thing I've ever seen, really. And it should be expected, I guess. And then you have, the barking dogs of Mary Lupien, and Rachel Barnhart has lost her mind.
Did she have one to lose?
I don't even know what's wrong with her. She's crazy. I mean, she's like a pit bull with a bone that won't let go. And I'm just going to say again, it doesn't make you a racist if you back the military and the men and women in blue. You're
100%.
not racist if you support the blue and if you support our military and the president and the United States of America. That doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you racist. But, I mean, if you follow the lead of the mayor and Rachel Barnhart, all those things apply to you.
Kimberly, I got to correct you here. If you are over the age of 40 and you are white, you are a racist until proven otherwise.
Isn't it?
Carry on.
No, it's true, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
I don't even know what happened. And I don't know what happened at City Hall. And by the way, I have friends that live downtown within a stone's throw of City Hall, where music and craziness has been going on for days. I think it finally stopped just a couple of days ago, where now it has moved out to the Walmart on Hudson, which I used to call during my morning show days the Fallujah of Walmart, right? Because there was crap happening there all the time.
That's 2 miles from Revere Realty, for the record.
Yeah. So now there's like parties going on in the middle of the street. See, my question is, Mayor Lovely Warren has said that there's a curfew. Did I hear it? I think I did.
There's a curfew?
They're at 11, but yet mass parties are allowed to go on. A mass party over the weekend where 16 people were shot, 2 dead. And did you guys happen to notice that no one's really talking about that story? There's a mass shooting where 16 were shot, 40 rounds in less than a minute.
Well, here's a simple experiment that I'm literally doing on myself right now. I do not know the 2 names of the individuals that were killed over the weekend because the media hasn't said their names enough times for me to know them. I do know Daniel Prude's name. I do know Trayvon Martin's name.
Right.
I do know Freddie Brown's name from
Taylor.
Baltimore.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. She's
Right.
a rap artist, right?
No.
My kids listen to her.
No. Breonna Taylor is
that's Cardi B, I
that's
believe.
Cardi B.
Oh,
yeah.
that's Post Malone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got that all messed up.
So
Yeah, I could go on and on. But yeah, the media hasn't told us their names because we don't need to know their names, because we don't need to know that those people were killed by, we don't know who they were killed by, but we just know that they weren't killed by a white police officer who was trying to do his job and go home to his family that night. That's what it doesn't fit the narrative, right?
It really doesn't fit the narrative.
So that's the bottom line.
Unfortunately, and it doesn't fit the BLM narrative or the Free Rock. I don't even know the other name of the organization. Hey, listen, I'm all for you protesting, and I'm for a better life for everyone. I want everyone to have a better life. I want everyone to be happy. I want to love everyone. I do, and that's true. But there are some people that are always going to be a-holes, right?
Mayor Lovely Warren.
I've never seen in a time of crisis someone stand up and blame immediately the chief of police. Now, I don't know Chief Singletary. From what I've heard, he was a good guy, right? And he was super excited when he took the job. And I don't know if anyone knows this, and we said it plenty of times on our show, that the mayor would not let the chief of police have a conversation with us. We were denied every time we asked. would not allow her chief of police, Simonelli, who finally left, or Singletary to come on the show. It was never going to happen. She didn't like us. She, anyone that was going to give pushback to her, she was done with. So here you have her blaming Singletary. He, obviously resigns with his pension. Thank goodness. He'll go on to do greater things, I'm sure. But, you have your RPD standing out there, and they're told to stand down. It's ridiculous. Every single night, something crazy happens.
Yeah, their hands are tied out
in the city, and their hands are tied. And I feel bad for the wives and husbands of the RPD out on the front line, because you don't know what's going to happen. Last night in Louisville, 2 police officers shot. These people are doing their jobs. There's no reason for violence. You can protest, and I appreciate that, and stand up for your rights. But the violence and the shouts of racism when people aren't racist have got to stop. You're watering down the word. It's become incredibly sad, the whole thing.
Yeah, racism is basically the word racism, and what people are trying to do when they impugn your character with it. It's just become a political term, a political football. Like you said earlier, it's throw every political issue in one basket and then call it racism.
Right.
So.
And it's unfortunate, because I think there really are situations of racism in this country. I think there are legitimate racism concerns. What do they call it? Systemic racism? I believe it. 100%. You're not going to get an argument from me.
Yeah, well, you know what the systemic racism, though, is? If we want to talk politics, the systemic racism that we have in our society is the fact that the Democrats have enslaved a large portion of our population on welfare for the past 7 generations. That's systemic racism. That is keeping a certain subset of people under the boot of a particular party. That's what slavery was. And it continues to this day. So if people aren't free to work and move up through the classes of, lower class, middle class, upper class, if they're not free to do that because they're the boots on their neck from the day they're born, they don't learn a certain work ethic. That's not coming from people like you and I.
Right.
That's not coming from the racists like you and I. That's coming from the people that are shouting racism from the top of the rooftops.
And it's sad, because you're not racist, I'm not racist, but what you're talking about is generational, welfare. That's all these people know.
She didn't say I wasn't racist.
No, she didn't say Tom wasn't racist. I noticed that.
You're not.
Well, once you get over 55, you're definitely a racist.
You're the birthday boy.
He's as white and as old as they get to be racist.
You're the birthday boy. So again, we are on Facebook Live, and you can send your comments. And I know I've kind of been remiss. It's our first episode, so I'm not looking at the comments as much as I should, but we're getting a lot of them, and I appreciate it. There's Cheryl. Lovely, can't handle the truth. I don't have that drop, Cheryl. I need the "you can't handle the truth."
From the movie A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise.
Movies,
That's right. I don't have that one.
Jack
I can
Nicholson.
get that one. I can get that one for next time. But yeah, so this is our first pod. Of course, I'm joined by Revere Realty, and it's Kimberly's Revolution with Revere. Chad Hummel is sitting across from me, and Tom Morgan is the birthday boy, and they're the owners of Revere.
I really want to call you Kimberlina. Is that all right?
You can call me Kimberlina.
Okay.
Listen, people have called me a lot worse.
Have we been canceled yet?
Shocking. I know, right? Is this thing on? Are we still here? Yeah, you can't fire me. Again, that makes me so happy to say you can't fire me from my own podcast. People are asking, why don't
we can't fire you unless both Chad and I agree to it.
And we never agree on anything.
I want to say hi to Linda Bell, who's listening. Linda was my oncologist nurse. So I'm a breast cancer survivor. October is coming up. We love our boobies, guys. That's, and a shout out to my girlfriend Mimi, who is recovering from surgery, and I love her. She's a dear friend as well.
God bless her.
And also a friend of mine down in Canandaigua who's kind of helped me through this whole thing with her. She sends me messages, biblical messages, and I love my kitty. I'll always love my kitty. So, do you know Nadine Madigan?
Yes.
Is she related to one of you?
Nadine is the wife of my best friend, Jason Madigan, who was in my...
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
You have a friend?
Jason's your best friend.
I have friends. Tom doesn't have friends.
No friends?
I don't have friends.
No friends.
Nadine. You know, it's funny. You said Nadine Madigan. It's kind of bizarre in a way, but I still think of Nadine as Nadine Zavaglia.
Right.
That's her maiden name.
I was going to butcher it, so I didn't say her maiden name. I was like, I'm going to butcher that name.
I should give deference to my best friend's last name, Nadine Madigan, but it's Nadine Zavaglia. Nadine's the best.
Yeah, Nadine is a very nice lady. It's a very nice lady. Hey, I don't know if you guys, speaking of booze, and I know it's your birthday, and I know you have Mick Ultra in your trunk, and you're going to dinner after you get finished with this.
Yes.
It's so funny because Chad, Tom texted me. He goes, "Hey, listen, I got a birthday dinner. How long is this thing gonna take?"
I figured it'd be like 3-4 hours. I don't know.
No. That would be like a whole entire show. Someone wants to know how are relations with the people at iHeart.
Who's iHeart?
I don't have any relations with the people at iHeart. I had a relationship with Beck, who was my partner for 20-some years, and we were at Intercom before that, and we were at iHeart after. I have no ill will for anyone there. I loved my time there. I wish it could have gone on. You know, but all good things have to end, and it was just meant for me to sell real estate earlier than I thought. So I am grateful that I'm selling real estate earlier than I thought. I have nothing bad to say about anyone there. And my mom told me that if I can't say anything nice, just don't say anything at all. And there are some people that I think were probably waiting. You can wait forever. You're not worth my time. You're not worth my time. You're not worth my energy. And to Bob Morgan, who is the general manager there, he's always he's been good to me.
Is that the other Bob Morgan?
No, that's the one with a lot of money.
Tom's dad
this is one with only so much money.
I get phone calls.
Tom's dad is Bob Morgan also. There's 3 Bob Morgans.
Oh my Lord!
I think he's on the 3rd rung. I think Bob Morgan, your dad, is the 3rd on those.
It would be, yes.
Yeah.
But I have no ill will, honestly.
Number 1 in my heart, though.
And people were asking me, hey, is this show with Revere going to be like a scorched earth, revenge show?
Yes.
And
Chad already said not to be political at least twice now.
Yeah, I think we can be political on the show. Again, we're kind of feeling out our podcast, but I think today is. We're at 36 minutes, and it doesn't even feel like we've been talking for a minute to me.
We're at 36 minutes already?
I'm so used to talking for hours, really. No one can get me to shut up. But no, I don't have any ill will towards anyone. I think most of the people over there are just trying to get through the day. I think they're just trying to get through the day, collect their radio paycheck, and go home. So I don't have a problem with anyone. I did talk to Pat a couple of days ago, Pat the producer, and he's doing well, and he's enjoying his time. So, that's all I have to say about that. Me, in the meantime, I'm a real estate selling fool, baby, and that's what we're doing.
Hell yeah!
And so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm pretty excited about this. Cracker Barrel is selling booze.
Cracker Barrel?
Did you just call me a cracker?
I
knew she was a racist.
I knew that. Cracker. Good cracker. Yes, it's one of our drops too. If you remember, that was from a Ritz commercial with Andy Griffith. Do you remember that?
No.
Cracker.
Yes.
Good cracker. So Cracker Barrel is a good cracker, and they're serving booze now. Did you know that? I don't know about you, but nothing says fancy like going to the Cracker Barrel for a chicken fried steak.
All right.
And some booze and a beer, right?
Kimberly, I have a suit on. Does it look like I go to Cracker Barrel?
Have you ever been to Cracker Barrel in your life?
Yes, a long time. It's been a long time.
I think I've gone once or twice.
All right, so I'm the redneck of the bunch.
You're gonna fire us, aren't you?
I'm the white trash of the bunch.
I'm
okay
not
saying
opposed
that.
to Cracker Barrel.
See, I can call myself a redneck and white trash.
We don't get past Jefferson Road.
Where do you,
I'm sorry.
you go to Speedway for dinner.
I do. Godfather's Pizza. That's my kids used to say.
Michael wants me to drop the F-bomb because that would be so hot. I only have to drop the F-bomb if it's necessary. I don't find swear words really, prove your point any more than a regular word. You know what I'm saying?
But we are allowed to swear, though, right?
Yeah, it's a podcast, but I've been so trained. I'm like a dog. I've been so trained.
You can do it, Kimberlina.
I know.
I'm gonna write down. I'm gonna make a list of bad words that we'll say on the next podcast. How's that?
Like, fuck.
She did it.
I can't. Oh, that's it. So
But wait,
it makes me nervous. I start getting a rash. It's so bad. I can't even do it.
But I'm not allowed to say the name of the company that fired you. Is that the deal?
Yes.
Well, you can't. There's no rule. I
Unless you say the F word before you say it.
I mean,
That's okay.
it's a large company. All anyone has to do is Google it. I mean, it's really one of those things. But let me just say,
Pittsford, right?
The guy wasn't truthful. He knew the whole time what the story was. He knew from the very beginning. And iHeart knew what they were getting when they hired us.
What about
and they profited off of it. What you should, right? You should profit off the people that are working for you.
Does the company have two names with a dash in between the two names? Is that the name?
By the way, Revere is a new listing today, 89 Avondale Road. For Patricia Bardine listed it today.
Nice. I love that.
Irondequoit, a little cute Cape Cod.
That'll go in a skinny second.
A shameful plug for Revere Realty by Tom Morgan.
If you are...
This is a real estate show, isn't it?
It is a great market right now. So if you're thinking about selling, or if you're thinking about buying...
Or if you want to buy 89 Avondale Road.
Or if you want to buy 89 Avondale Road in Irondequoit.
It's on the executive portion of Culver Road, I believe.
Isn't that the hottest market in the country right now, is in Irondequoit?
It absolutely is. 14609.
14609 is the hottest real estate market in the country.
This property's actually
That's because
just
it was
north.
depressed for 20 years.
Yeah.
But I was so excited to sell my first house. I can't wait to sell yours next. So you can reach out to me at revererealty.com. My picture's up there. My email's up there. My phone number is up there. So you can call me and, breathe heavily into I don't know, whatever you want to do. But you can do that. Again, I think I think we got through our first podcast. How do you guys feel? You feel pretty good?
I feel great.
You do?
That was
Thank
fun.
you very much.
It's Kimberly's
God bless.
Revolution. Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty. You can check it out, revererealty.com. Chad Hummel, Tom Morgan, the birthday boy.
Don't forget to spray and neuter your pets.
We're so excited.
They always say that.
Till next time. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye now.